You speak French?
No.
Après 26 ans devant la caméra, Paquin est désormais également productrice. C'est le cas pour Flack, série au doux parfum de scandale, dans laquelle elle incarne une attachée de presse névrosée, prête à tout pour protéger ses clients.
The world keeps turning, Robin. We just help push.
We can't just lie.
Did you think we'd resolve this without lying?
There's blood in the water. Stop flapping around like a bunch of epileptic penguins and take control.
Maybe can we start by speaking about your role as a producer and what it brought to your well-being into your career?
It has been such a rewarding experience getting to not just sort of sit around and wait for material to show up, but actually go out there and find the amazing material that you want to work on. It's hard getting independent films made. It's hard getting TV shows made, but it's also incredibly rewarding once you finally do. You know, as an actress, and I know a lot of people talk about this a lot, but there's not as many truly exciting roles out there for women in my business. And it's very empowering to feel like you can go out there and make it happen for yourself.
Do you feel like you've discovered some new talents within you, new strength within you?
Well, I mean, I've always been like that. I grew up on movie sets, so I spent my entire life observing how it all worked, and that's just sort of who I am. I'm an observer, and I am good with details. I am good with, you know, holding a lot of things in my head at the same time. I don't find it sort of overwhelming to multitask. It's where I find myself sort of my most happy.
Let's go. Stall them.
Somebody step on the brake, someone who feels take the wheel.
Hey, left, out right. Your speech. Ready? Smile.
As you said, you're an observer. What kind of relationship do you build with teams? I think maybe with a show like True Blood, who spent many years, you knew everyone. Were you the kind to ask questions, try to shadow people?
Well, but also just, you know, I think it's just also paying attention to the individuals and not just what they're doing, but like actually caring about the people you're working with in their lives and knowing if they're having a good day or a bad day, or if they need a little help with something, or if, you know, just being kind of, you know, human.
Now, pour in all your love, all your pain, all your secrets, hopes, dreams, and feel how the light holds you.
It's like the sun.
It's more powerful than the sun.
I think sometimes actors kind of get kept in these little bubbles where they don't really know or are not required to care about how their behavior affects everybody else. So if an actor is 45 minutes late for work, you've just entirely ruined the day for like 150 people. And I know some really wonderful, talented, kind actors who just, you know, don't sort of take these kinds of things into consideration. They don't understand that it's a machine, and it only works if every single piece of the machine is working efficiently, you know, and film and TV is a team sport. You can't do it without everyone. Every single crew member, every PA, every, you know, assistant to the assistant to the assistant of, you know, the lowest person down on the food chain, every single one of those people are incredibly important to getting your film or TV made. And I've just sort of grown up on sets where that was, I mean, maybe I'm just lucky that that was sort of the culture I was raised in film-wise. But so that's always been sort of important to me as a producer.
Exactly. So how do you surround yourself, knowing that this is a kind of surrounding you?
Honestly, you know, you meet people, and honestly, it's pretty quick. I feel like being able to figure out if people are kind and hardworking, and kind becomes something that is increasingly important as I get older. I feel like the sort of era of there being allowed to be kind of loud and aggressive, bullyish sort of people, you know, and lots of screaming and yelling on sets. Like, I feel like that's just not really accepted anymore.
Yeah. Even on your Twitter account, you say it's an inclusive space and
absolutely.
welcoming space. And I was wondering if being political and raising awareness is also for you a way to pick roles and shows and movies you're going to be in.
Honestly, my politics and my film roles are not necessarily lined up. I mean, there's certain things that I perhaps would choose not to do on camera if they just fundamentally, like, I can't think of an example, but I mean, I'm sure there's some things that I would just be like, no, I'm not doing that. But I also think it's important to tell stories that have different perspectives and have different sides of various hot topic debates. And if that means playing the bad guy or the not bad guy, but like, you know, the person who maybe doesn't agree with, share my politics at all, I think that's also equally important, you know what I mean? Because if we can breathe life into people with opposite opinions of each other and stop polarizing and just going, no, you don't agree with me, go away. End of conversation. No one's going to achieve anything. We're not going to move forward.
But I think, like you said, it might raise conversations and help people think about themselves. Yeah. And this is also what I loved in True Blood. It's like it's very metaphoric for, you know, raising voices, talking about minorities, and there is something very strong behind a sci-fi supernatural show.
We pay taxes. We deserve basic civil rights just like everyone else.
Yeah, but, I mean, come on, doesn't your race have a rather sordid history of exploiting and feeding off innocent people?
Show me documentation. Doesn't exist. Now that the Japanese have perfected synthetic blood, which satisfies all of our nutritional needs, there is no reason for anyone to fear us. We just want to be part of mainstream society.
If you were to remove the supernatural aspect, the show's still about something, you know? And yes, the glitz, the drama, that's sort of the bells and whistles of Flack, but that's not ultimately all the show is about, you know?
In Flack, Robin, she's very flooded and she can be hard, but also in her relationship with her friends and her colleagues, she's very sweet and she's very lovable. So
there is love and there is real fierce loyalty, and it also comes along though with somebody who's quite psychologically damaged. I mean, she's, you know, a child of a family with an absent father, a mentally unwell mother. So when you see Robin being able to kind of just bold-faced lie, that was probably how she survived her childhood. Was, okay, Mum's in one of her moods or one of her phases. I'm just going to do and say the thing that's going to keep the peace. And that quality is what makes Robin so good at her job. Over the course of the episodes, you do get to, aside from just seeing the fun and the drama and the comedy and the dark, really messed up things, you know, you also end up learning a lot about sort of who she is and that. And I found that to be very fascinating.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're glowing. I'm so happy you talk about this show.
Oh, I love
Radiant.
it. Well, I like talking about things that I'm really proud of.
That's great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.